Welcome back to another episode of the Student of the Game podcast. I am your host, Kyle Spain, and again, I am blessed to be here accompanied by another brother of mine, another special guest. Played overseas for at least 12 to 13 years. He played in at least 7 countries: Quebec, Venezuela, the Netherlands, Poland, Slovakia, France, and Denmark. Went to Ball State University out of high school and was named the freshman of the year, then to transfer over to Marquette after that. Won the TBT in 2020 with the Marquette Eagles and won a championship in France, to my knowledge. I'm not sure if there's any more, but we are going to find out. Welcome to the story of Maurice Acker. What is good, my brother, man?
What's good, my brother?
Man,
Seen you in a minute, man.
man, it's
Glad to
good.
glad to be on, man. Glad to be on with you.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day and getting on here and helping me with the cause, the movement. The first thing I wanted to talk about is how we try to ignite charcoals with cologne,
You said how we had to try to make it the best way we can overseas. You know how it be.
bro. Man, you cutting up all you cut up a little bit, but then we were trying to ignite charcoals with cologne, trying to get that fire started. That was a hilarious,
Oh, it's connected. Hold
man.
on for a second, Cal.
All good, all good.
Can you hear me? Yo,
Yeah.
that's why I told you not to come in here, dude. I'm on the thing, man. Take these. Can you hear me?
Yep.
My bad. We gotta start over.
Nah. I was just bringing up the fact how we try to ignite charcoals with a cologne, trying to get a fire starter while in France, bro. That
Oh
shit was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, man. We was eating good over there though.
Yeah, right on, right
We
on,
was eating
brother.
good over there. Y'all was cooking it up, you and wifey.
Yep.
I remember that.
We was trying to do our thing over there for a little bit, man. But again, man, I appreciate you coming on, bro. I know you got, I know you got some things going. You got the Mamba Academy, right? You got your own team, your own AAU situation going on. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
definitely a blessing. We'll get into that in a moment. But first off, man, how did you even get into basketball? How'd you get started, and how did that process go? How'd you fall in love with the game, bro?
Man, just my pops put the ball in my hand at an early age. I used to go with him up to I was what, 5 years old, 6 years old. My dad was in the military. I used to go up to the army base with him and just going there. He had me working out, shooting around, just finding the game, finding
Yeah,
the love of the game, and ever since then, it was just nonstop from there. Playing at the courts back in Chicago, you know, all of that transpired, and just to keep the dream alive.
yeah. Did you play any AAU before high school? In high school?
Yeah. I played AU in middle school, and I started off in middle school, and then I started playing Mean Streets, Chicago Mean Streets. That's what kind of put me on the map.
All right.
Playing with them, we won the 16U national championship. Yep, 16U. So yeah, we was pretty tough, pretty
Nice.
tough.
All right. Uh, what was your high school experience like?
High school, high school for me was a little different because ninth grade, my freshman year, I ended up going to this Catholic school, Antoine Walker. He got us all over there to play with his brother, and it was, far from my house. I had to take a bus and a train, then another bus just to
Oh
get
man.
there. So my freshman year was tough, but we was solid though. So it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? And I know
Yeah.
I got a lot better playing in the city and experiencing that. But it was just the travel. Then sophomore year I transferred to the school I graduated from, Hillcrest. It was just sophomore year we had a good year. I played with Shelby Jordan. He was a big name coming up. He was getting recruited by Cincinnati, a lot of big schools. So I was able to play with him. He was a senior. That was my sophomore year. Then my junior senior year, was able to play with my one of my close friends, Jarrell McNeil. He just shout out to Jarrell. He just got his jersey retired at Marquette.
Hey,
Um,
shout out.
yep, a
Shout out
few
to
weeks
Jarrell.
ago.
Yeah. That's
So
dope.
yeah, high school was a good experience.
He played with you in college too, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
because I went to not my freshman year because I went to Ball State
Yeah.
and
All
then I
right.
transferred.
Okay. So talk about your recruiting experience. How'd you end up, what was senior year like? Were you getting heavily recruited? How was your recruiting process? Were schools looking at you? How'd you end up at Ball State?
Man, my recruiting, it was crazy. Like put the work in, did what I was supposed to do, man. And like I said, we won the national championship. That's when it was before all the circuit teams, the Adidas, you know how it was with
Yeah.
nationals. It was all everybody just in one, Adidas teams, Nike teams, everybody. And we ended up winning and I still didn't get off after that.
Dang.
So I didn't get an offer till my senior year. And, that's when schools like low D1 started coming in, but none really never offered. They were just showing heavy interest.
Yeah.
And then Ball State ended up coming through. Ball State, I had Ball State in Northern Illinois. I only had two offers coming out.
And this was after your senior year ended, or was this like during the year
No, this was going into my senior year.
going into the senior
Yeah,
year? All right. All right.
yeah.
So when did you end up committing?
I committed my senior year.
Okay. All right. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you ended up going to
yeah.
Ball State.
I was getting the interest that junior year going into senior year,
Okay.
and then I committed before the season. Yeah,
So you end up going to Ball State. You win. You end up getting named Freshman of the Year. What made you make the move? What made you transfer over to Marquette?
because I felt as though I felt as though I was at that level,
Yeah.
already, and that it kind of pissed me off knowing that the guys that I've competed with, I see them all high
Yeah.
level D1, and I didn't get that love, so I kind of took that freshman year out on that,
Yeah.
tried to make a name for myself, and it worked out. I started getting some calls from some bigger schools, after my freshman year, after getting freshman of the year. So, and I think it was meant for me to go there, so people could know who I am,
Yeah.
and Coach Buckley, which ended up going to Marquette after he left. He was the head coach at Iowa. He was the one that recruited me to Ball State. He left Ball State after my freshman year. He got a job at Iowa. We end up meeting up that following year at Marquette.
Oh, that's dope. Yep. And then you ended up playing with your high school teammate. Uh,
Yeah, Jarrell. Yep,
yeah. Oh, that's
yep,
dope.
yep. And then we linked back up, so it was kind of like it was kind of perfect
Yeah.
setup.
It was like you was at home. Yeah. Already.
Yeah, and they were recruiting me though. Marquette were recruiting me because they was recruiting Jarrell, and the coach used to always say, man, we like you a lot, but we only got a certain amount of scholarships.
Mm,
And they had already committed Dominic James out of Indiana. They committed him, early, so they didn't really have it. But he used to always tell me, I wish I had one more scholarship. So then after the freshman year, kind of he hit me up, and it was up from there.
all right. All right. How was your red shirt experience? How did that all go for you? I know, these days you don't even got a red shirt like that anymore. But I know it's tough
No,
having to sit out a year. Like, how was
no,
that
that
for you
was
on
the
your
worst.
mental?
That was the worst year of my basketball career. Like it was crazy. I heard stories, but I didn't think it was gonna be that bad.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they got us. It was me and my boy. I don't know if you remember him, Lawrence Blackledge. Call him Trent. He was redshirting with me. He was from Southern Illinois. So we had to go through it together. We waking up at 6 in the morning, weights. They got us putting on pounds. So we drinking. They got us drinking 4 Gatorade shakes a day. We got extra workouts.
Damn.
We got to work out after 3 hour practice, and then we don't get to play in the game.
Right.
So it
Dang.
was,
So
but it was the worst. It was one of the worst years. That was the year I got better though.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was putting in real work. Like
Yeah.
everything was double. Instead of doing single, I was doing double. Me and my boy, we were doing double work every day. By the time I was ready to play, I was ready.
Okay.
But it
All
was
right.
tough though.
Yeah.
It was
No, it
tough.
seems like it's tough because I remember one of my teammates had the red shirt. I know you're just doing extra work, and then you got to stay home when everyone's traveling and all that other stuff. I didn't experience that, but I can imagine it being a tough process. Having to sit out a whole year in
Man,
order to play. That's crazy. Itching. He was over there itching.
yeah, you itching. I mean,
Yeah.
you battling with the boys in practice, and then you just gotta sit back and watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough.
Damn. All right. So redshirt year goes by, and this is the year you playing. How did that process go? Did you start getting burned immediately?
Nah, and then that was another like um wake up call for me. Going from being a guy to just being a role player, playing 10 minutes a game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was thankful for those 10 minutes, but I wanted to play more. That competitiveness kick in, and
Yeah.
you like, wish I could play, the whole, not the whole game, but
Yeah.
most of the game.
Yeah.
So that was a learning experience for me. I had to kind of like be patient.
Yeah.
I learned patience going through that year. Because I'm playing with all pros pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to wait my turn.
And when did your turn end up popping up?
My turn ended up popping up when I got to Marquette into my junior year.
Okay.
Yeah, into my junior year, I was playing a lot more um, throughout throughout the beginning of the season. And starting point guard, he ended up getting hurt, so he was out for the season. And then that moved me in the starting lineup. So from then on, I was rocking out from then on for the rest of the season and then to my senior year.
Dang. Unfortunately, it's crazy how that story it seems like to circulate a lot. With players, good players that are sitting on the bench, waiting for their time to shine. And it seems like it always takes for somebody to get hurt for them to get that opportunity. Unfortunately, but gratefully, you were able to get in there and show your worth, man. So that's
Yeah,
dope that you got the
appreciate you.
opportunity to show what you got going on, man. Like I'm still pissed. I still got this little inkling of just like, bro, I'm so mad I didn't get a chance to play with you and Chris, bro. I'm so mad I didn't
Oh
get a chance to play
man,
it. Man,
hey, it would have really been over if you would have suited up.
man,
Really been over.
man. Y'all ended up winning the championship, man. So I mean, y'all got it done, but that was definitely
Oh
something.
yeah, it would have been a lot smoother though. If you had you already know that would have been way more firepower right there.
Yeah, yeah, bro. All good, bro. All good. And
Yeah.
But all right, Marquette comes. You start hooping in junior year. You start showing your worth. Senior year comes. How'd you end up getting your first gig, your first professional contract? How did that process go? How did your agent process go? What was that like? Talk to me about all of that.
Well, the agent process was pretty much I had kind of knew the guy. Uh, you know, before I graduated, we kind of met and everything. I knew one of the guys he was representing that was from the same area. So I ended up going with him um, to come out, and he thought it was best for me to do the G League. He had got me 2 workouts, NBA workouts, and he was like, "It's best for you to try the G League out." So I did the draft. Ended up getting drafted to Bakersfield. At the time, they were affiliated with the Clippers and the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I went that route my first year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so also you were in the D League. You said you were in the G League the first year. How'd you end up getting? So after that is when you went to Quebec.
Yeah, after that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They end up bringing one of the guards and getting called down to the D League, so they released me. You know how I go. And
Yep.
then I jumped over to Quebec uh right away. Like I think I was home for like maybe a couple weeks. He's like, you go over here just to stay in shape, and then we get you somewhere else after that.
All right. How was Quebec?
Quebec, man, I actually liked it out there. I thought it was gonna be like I never been to Canada, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's gonna be, it's my first really out of country experience.
Yeah.
But I ended up going to the French Quebec, and where everything is it's like Europe. It's pretty much like I felt like I was in Europe out there. Everybody
Yeah.
spoke French, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was the language barrier. I had to get used to the language barrier that nobody spoke English for real. But the basketball after it surprised me was tough. They had some talent out there. A lot of players, that couldn't get overseas or um, a lot of older players that was kind of like hanging it up but could still hoop. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah.
competitive. Yeah.
All right. All right. What was the hardest thing that you had to overcome? Whether that was in college, professional, what was the hardest thing that you had to go through?
Man, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot for real. I mean, just being an undersized guard. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That was the hardest part of my career. Just everybody doubting me,
Yeah.
getting under recruited, coaches looking at you because you're smaller than the other. You know what I'm saying? I had to go
Yeah.
through that like every year, and it
Yeah.
was, it was tough. But I think that's why I was a tough player. That made me a tough player because I had to go through that.
Yeah. And so what was your mindset, man? I talk about mindset a lot and how mindset is probably the most important thing, especially for you. And, another reason why I was excited about this episode, because you one of the nastiest guards I've ever played with, bro. And you're undersized, man. And so there's a lot of people out there that are undersized. So, man, what was your mindset? Going through all that. You had a chip on your shoulder. Everyone was doubting you, looking at you like, man,
Yeah.
this guy is short. And so, I mean, you had to go out there and prove yourself. And so, what was going through your mind, and how did you handle that? What were you thinking? Like, what was your process, your approach?
Man, it was just like you said, it was just like I had a big chip on my shoulder. I took everything serious. I took everything to heart. Somebody doubt me or somebody talking like, "Oh, you're not good enough, you're small." I just always when I wanted to leave the court, I always wanted people to remember me. You know what I'm saying? Man, that dude, that small guard is tough right there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that was my mindset. Every time I step on the court, I'm about to make everybody feel me. I'm about to make everybody,
type
remember
shit,
me
type
by
shit.
what it is, by us being tough, being a leader, being a scorer, being the best pass on the court, being locked down, all of that. That was my mindset, and I wasn't intimidated by somebody bigger than me, because
Mm,
people were bigger than me my whole life. I grew up playing in the park with older guys, so nothing really that was tough. Like that was, in the shy, you got guys that never made it, man.
that's
That are
tough.
beat some guys that's playing pro. Like
Yeah, easy.
I grew up playing against them type of guys, and they
Yeah,
they kind of instilled that toughness in
yeah. Talk about the importance of mindset and how crucial that is for any player to be successful in this game of basketball.
you already know, like me and the mindset is everything. It's 75% of it all.
Yeah,
You can put all the work in you want. You can do this, you can do that, but if your mind ain't right and you ain't got the vision, you ain't got the work ethic, you don't got the discipline, then you cook. You ain't gonna last.
yeah,
So mindset is everything, man. The biggest thing is trying to make it in hoop is being disciplined. What I'm saying? It's hard. A lot of people say they want it, but they don't put the work in every day. They put it
exactly.
they put it in 2 days out of the week instead of 6 days out of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or they out partying all weekend. You know what I'm saying? And not resting their body, like all of that little stuff.
yeah,
Or doing things they ain't supposed to be doing, drinking a lot, smoking a
yeah.
lot. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
I think that's the biggest.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say was a contributing factor to your success? Especially being a small guard. What kind of game did you have to develop in order to shine through everything, shine through everybody, and show everyone who Maurice Acker is?
Man, you gotta be a dog. You know what I'm saying? And my pops and then my middle school coach, they the ones that kind of like brought it out of me, coaching me when I was younger, just explaining to me that every time you step on the court, you gotta stand out, you know what I'm saying? Because you undersized. You're already behind the eight ball, you know what I'm saying? Just off your side. So you can't have a bad game. So my
Mm,
mindset was I can never have a bad game. I gotta either if I'm missing my shots, I better have 10 assists.
yeah.
Or if you know
Okay.
what I'm saying, if I'm on, I better go get 20, you know what I'm saying, or go get 5 rebounds, 5 steals, So that was the mindset.
All right. If you could go back and do it all over again, what would you tell your younger self?
My younger self. That's a great question. Man, be you. You know what I'm saying? Be you. Like it was times where I kind of had to like humble myself, in certain situations, but it wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? It was kind
Hmm.
of like taking a back seat, like and I shouldn't have did that. I should have just stayed true to myself. And if somebody didn't like it, they didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my problem. And it kind of like took a chip off my shoulder, if that makes sense. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Trying to be somebody that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? You kind of lose it a little bit, kind of lose confidence a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just say, stay true to yourself, you the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Is there anything that you would have done differently?
When I was younger, I would say I would I would have rather stayed at Ball State, knowing the situation that I was in, because I
Mm,
was the guy there, it was my team. But the older I got, the more I realized that it was meant for me to go to Marquette because it it was like it kind of opened me up to the real world, like far as everything is gonna be handed to you, like you got to
yeah.
go get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to like earn my minutes. I had to earn everything, making that move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Differently, I would say I would have probably uh worked on my athleticism more. You know what I'm saying? Coming up,
Yeah.
we came out. They wasn't doing all this stuff they doing now. You know what I'm saying? As you see, you got strength and conditioning coaches, you got agility, plyometrics, all of this stuff. We wasn't doing it growing up. I don't know
Yeah.
about you. I don't know about you, but I wasn't. So, you know what I'm saying? Looking back, I think that would have helped my career, a little more, being more athletic.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, how did you feel about your career? You feel like you
Man, I
deserve
mean, overall, I feel as though I had a great career,
good. Good.
because how my story went. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like for real, I wasn't even like the stats that I had in college. You know what I'm saying? It was a big school, but my stats wasn't besides my freshman year. Well, my senior year, I had good numbers, solid numbers my senior year. But you know what I'm saying? Then it's kind of like too late.
Yeah.
So it was like everything that I got after that, it was like a bonus for me.
Yeah.
That's how I looked at it.
Okay.
It was a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a blessing. Like I wasn't supposed to be there. So. And then, I did a lot of years. I was able to stick over there, which is hard
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You
A
had
lot
to
of
just
guys go over there 1, 2 years, like,
yeah.
yeah, nah, I can't do this. This ain't for
Yeah.
me.
I mean,
Or they just not good enough.
yeah, bro.
So,
I mean, what was it like for you, going overseas? Like, we talk about, with the other hoopers that, I've been on with, there's always a culture shock. What was that like for you?
like the biggest thing for me was the like going to Quebec, Canada. Like, it was a language barrier. It was French. Everybody
Yeah.
speaking French. You know what I'm saying? Man, I ain't never heard French in my life, man. I'm like, and then there ain't nobody speaking English. So it's like, hey, what I'm supposed to do? Like, I can't get no help. I'm going to the store. I'm looking for stuff to buy. I
Yeah.
can't read the
Right.
language. I'm like, man, this stuff can't nobody help me because they don't understand what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Like, it was the language barrier. I think was the toughest. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I'm
the
saying?
biggest thing
Then
right there.
second, being away from home, being thousands of miles away.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it was different, but I got used to it quick though. I kind of at first I didn't like it, and then like after the first year, I was like, oh yeah, this cool. You out the way,
Yeah.
you grinding, and you getting a little money. Yeah, it's cool.
So what was it like playing in the TBT?
The
How'd
TV,
you get invited
that's
for all of
that's
that? What was that experience like?
that's like some of the toughest basketball you gonna play.
Man,
You got all that money, you got that much money on the line.
yeah.
Like every possession matters with that
Yeah.
shit, man. Every possession matters. Like, especially the deeper you get. Like if you get past that Sweet 16 and you start, you like, oh dang, we really can win this shit. Like
Yeah.
them games, that shit is crazy. Like high level basketball,
High level. It's almost like,
high level basketball.
yeah, it's almost like straight to play, like you in the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs, like that's
Yeah.
like real
Yeah.
playoffs. Them games used to be lit, especially when we used to play like Syracuse, like the schools that got like a
Yeah.
big fan base. They bringing everybody to the game. Like
Mm.
Ohio State, we played Ohio State in the finals in the Shy. Like that game was crazy. Like they brought they whole school down there, and then Marquette was only an hour and a half away. So that game right there, it's crazy. Chris Paul was there. Like that game was live. That
I
game
can
was
only
lit.
imagine. I can only imagine. I was supposed to
Yeah.
play in the TBT for Team for Debt, uh,
Oh
2017.
yeah. I don't think we never. Yeah.
But I had hurt my
They
knee,
was
so I
tough
couldn't even
though.
play. Yeah,
Oh
that was
yeah.
it. Yeah,
They was always They was too.
yeah. Well, that's dope, though.
Yeah.
You ended up winning that thing. What was that like, bro? Winning the chip, man. When that horn goes off, bro, I can only imagine, bro.
Man, that horn went off, and then they hit the little send button after the game on the screen.
Yeah.
Like that bread pop in right away, like right
Dang.
away. As soon as they hit send, all our phones start going off, and you get the whole thing right up. They just tell it to you. We was going
Dang.
crazy. We was
I'm,
going crazy in the locker room.
I'm sure you was, bro. That's
Crazy.
dope.
Couldn't believe it, man. Like 'cause the year before we supposed to win.
Yeah.
The year before we lost to Ohio State in the finals. So we was kind of everybody was kind of like down from that. And then we came back the next year on the mission. Like we was like, no, we can't lose this time. Like we getting this close. Like, fuck that, we got to go get it,
Yeah.
and we made it happen.
Damn, that's
Made it happen.
dope. Congratulations, bro. That's some shit that
Appreciate it, bro.
a lot of people won't ever experience, man. So that's right on.
Yeah,
Then for that money to hit right away, that's double. You don't got to worry about nothing. Just got the chip and
man.
the bread, man.
Yep.
It's dope.
Yeah, we was big chilling, big
Yeah,
chilling.
yeah, yeah. How was it? How was your transition? What made you hang it up? What was your transition like for you from basketball to real life?
Man, I got a crazy story. How my career ended. It was like the COVID, uh, the COVID hit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? We had just won the TBT. COVID hit. Everything was down in Europe. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of started coaching out here in Orlando and training. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure it out because I didn't think it was gonna open back up soon.
yeah,
The market back overseas after COVID. So I jumped into coaching and training, and I thought it was over. You know what I'm saying? I kind of started working out a little bit, and then my agent had hit me up like, "Hey, like the market next year, the market gonna be got back going. So, you better make sure you're in shape if you're trying to go back over there." So I ended up getting back in shape, did a TBT, ended up getting a call, went back to France, third division.
yeah,
Went back out there. It was like, yeah, a team out there wants you. And it was a team in South France. I was like, dang, for real? I thought it was over for me.
yeah.
So I jumped. I went back out there. I was right to it, like right to it. Like I was probably averaging like 19 and 5. You know
Dang,
what I'm saying? Taking the whole year off. The season went good. We ended up finishing like top four. And then right before the playoffs started, got a call. My sister passed. My little sister, rest her soul,
dang. My
passed in a car
condolences.
accident, man. And had to fly back right away. I jumped on a flight that next day, went to the crib, had to deal with that. And then after that, like my mom was like,
Yeah,
"Let me go back
dang.
over there after that." Yeah, so that was kind of like my last, because I was gonna keep playing for a few more years,
Yeah,
you know. But that was like, yeah, that was like the last go. Like I was like, yeah, nah, it ain't meant for me to
dang.
be over there. Stuff like that happened. And also my kids were getting a little older too.
Yeah.
Uh, my daughter,
Shout out to Nala. She out there doing her thing, man. She out there killing that
yeah,
gymnastics thing, bro.
yeah, yeah, she loved it too.
Yeah,
She
that's what's
loved it.
up.
She been locked in. She been
Yeah.
locked in.
My daughter
Yeah,
actually is following her. We be showing her pictures and because she's in gymnastics as well. But we be watching those videos, man. She's righteous, bro. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
yeah. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. How your kids doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. My son, he was on and off on basketball. He just started back. Not just started, it's almost a year now. He started in January for real. Rocky road, up and downs, the
Yeah.
development process, dad trying to coach son, that's always a problem. But I didn't really want anybody else coaching him. And so it took about 5 to 6 months. I'd have a conversation with him, know what we know about basketball and work ethic. I'm like, man, this is what you got to do if you want to be good. You over here talking about you want to get to the NBA. This isn't that. I know how to get there, but this ain't going to work
Yeah.
for you. So I'd have to ask him like over and over and over. I'm like, man, it's all good if you don't want to play basketball, and it's okay.
Mm,
But you gotta train. Whatever you do, you gonna have to train and do something or whatever.
right.
And we'd have these conversations. He'd be crying. He'd be like, "I want to play basketball," but it's like, man, look, this is what you got to do if you want to play. So we had that conversation multiple times over, and he's just now starting to turn the
Really
curve.
locked
Turn,
in.
yeah, he's really starting to lock in now. He's starting to take training serious. So I'm
That's
excited
good,
for him,
man.
man. Yeah, I'm excited for him now, man, because I'm like,
That's
man,
good.
now you're starting to tune up a little bit. He's still got a problem with listening, but that's
He look like he getting taller. How old is he now?
he just turned 11 in October.
Right, same age as Nyla. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I still got some pictures of him and Nyla. Yeah, it's crazy because
Uh-huh.
I remember Nyla was feeding him taco meat, bro. It's crazy because
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah. They used to be
pickiest
in their
eater.
own little world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but nah, he's turning the corner now, and so he's 5'1". He's 5'1".
Oh,
So
dang.
yeah, so he's getting up there. So we'll see what happens with him in these next few years. And my daughter's in gymnastics as well, and she's loving it too. So
That's dope. Yeah, that's
yeah,
dope.
yeah.
That's
No, I
dope.
appreciate you asking, bro. Appreciate you asking.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I have my own thought in my own head of what. Maurice Acker is known for, but what would you say that you were known for as far as your game? Like, what is Maurice Acker known for?
But man, it's tough. I mean, I would say when I was younger, I was known for my ball handling
Yeah.
and passing.
Okay.
But then when I got older, I started getting known for my three ball,
All right.
my
All
three
right.
ball,
Yeah.
and passing still.
Yeah. Nah, I'm definitely going. That hezzy you got, yo. Yo,
You talking about, yeah,
yeah,
heavy,
yo, that hezzy. You got a mean hezzy.
yeah.
A mean
Yeah.
hezzy.
Had to, man. I was a small guard. I had
Ex-
to have some bag of tricks,
Yeah.
or it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. Well, a couple more questions, man. What would you say to the smaller guards that are in the game right now, having the same type of struggles you are? What would you say to them as to what they would need to do so they can reach high levels of basketball like yourself?
Man, first thing really is you gotta outwork your competition. You gotta be the hardest worker. Me and you both know that. You gotta be the
Yeah.
hardest worker. That gotta be a given. Second is making sure you can shoot. You gotta be able to shoot being a small guard. Like if you can't, you're a liability.
Yeah.
Because you already know what time it is. Once they figure out you can't shoot, all they're gonna do is go on the screen. All they're gonna do is sag off. So now you can't use your number one tool, which is
Mm,
quickness.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be able to shoot. Gotta be tough. Gotta be a dog. Can't be a small, uh, passive, player. Yeah, I would say those three things.
Last question. Um, This probably might, tie into some of the answers and responses that you've already given. But what would you say your main, if you had one or two pieces of advice that you can give to anyone, not just small guards, like what does it take for a basketball player to be good? What's the requirements? What do you think that? What would you tell them when you're coaching your teams? Anybody? Actually, I do have
Yeah,
another question after that. What would your one piece of advice be for the upcoming generation for them to be as nice as they can be?
man. One thing I think is people don't really talk about a lot about is being coachable. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
nice.
Like a lot of players be talented, and they got the potential. That word is big nowadays, potential. They got the potential, and they feel as though nobody can tell them nothing.
Yeah.
So now you got this player with all this talent, with this ego, young at a young age, and he's not getting better because he think he better. He don't got to listen to nobody. He think he could do everything his way. You feel me? So
Yeah.
it's like always, be humble, be coachable through the process, and listen to your coaches, listen to your teammates. A lot of these kids now they feel as though they don't even gotta listen to their teammates. It's all about them.
Yeah.
So I would say always respect the game, respect the coaches, man, respect your teammates. Yeah, be coachable, man, because
Yeah.
it's these days it's bad. Like it's bad. These kids they be thinking they Steph Curry already.
Yeah.
In middle school, high school, I'd be looking like, dang, they had gone. You know what I'm saying? I'll be trying to help some of them, the best way I can. But
Yeah.
like I said, if you're not listening,
You're not learning. You gotta be a
you
student of
got
the
you ain't
game.
learning.
You
You gotta
gotta
be a
be
student of the game.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
That's heavy,
yeah,
man. That's the first one. I love that. A lot of it's that's big, bro. That's big. Being a
hmm
student of the game, learning, being coachable. Because
yeah.
I mean, there's always something
That all
that you can
ties
learn.
into that. Yep.
Yeah. It all
Yeah, like
ties
you
in.
said, student of the game. That's the word I was really looking for. So you hit it
Yeah,
on the head.
bro.
Being a student of the game,
That's
like
what's
all of that stuff. Studying the game,
yeah.
studying yourself, teaching yourself. Like I said, that'll help your ego. Like when you really sit down and watch your game and
Yeah.
see where you made mistakes at, and like, dang, our coach wasn't tripping. Like I was really bugging right here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that type of stuff. Players they need to do more of that.
That's
Cause I
dope,
know I
bro.
did it. My coach made me do it when I was in high school. So
Oh, he
that's why I was.
made
We was kind of.
oh live.
Yeah, we was watching film. We was doing all of that. He was giving us life lessons, all of that stuff. Like
Dang.
we was all locked in.
Do you have any quotes from any of the coaches that stuck with you? You said you learned. It was a random question, but I know you said your coach made you do it in high school. An example would be for me. When I played for Coach Fisher, I had a couple of them. It's like you never stay. You either get better or you get worse. You never stay the same. And then there was this one other quote that was like, "Excuses are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink." So that was the other one that I got. That
Yeah,
was hilarious.
yeah. I know. Okay, yeah. You talking about that? Yeah, I had a few. I had a
Yeah,
few. One I would say would be never get too high. One of my coaches always say, never get too high and never get too low. He used to always say that. Like
yeah.
when we used to
Just
win
kind
and
of
stuff,
coast out. Yeah,
they'd be like, "All right, yeah, y'all feeling yourselves. Y'all got a big win, but hey, we gotta play. We gotta play in 2 days.
that's heavy.
Make sure y'all level back off, or
Yeah,
we're gonna be feeling low.
yeah. That's
You know,
facts.
yeah.
That's
So we gotta
big.
always stay, always stay level.
Yeah. On
Yeah,
to the next
never
one.
get too high, never get too low. Yep.
Yeah, I do got one more question, man. How do you think? Because social media was just coming up. When we were hooping, coming out of college. How do you think social media is impacting the game today?
Social media is everything now, bro. Everything. That's why you got NIL deals.
Yeah,
Social media. Like I be talking to these kids now. Like, I'm like, man, y'all don't know how lucky y'all got it, man. Y'all got all this opportunity. Like
yeah,
we didn't have none of this stuff. Like we had Facebook. Like and
right,
Facebook was just for posting and messaging. You know what I'm saying? You
exactly.
feel me? Like y'all got all these platforms, y'all got all of this stuff, man, and y'all don't want to put in the work to go get it. Like it's out there, it's bright, it's right there, handed to y'all right here. Right. However you want to go get it, you can go get it now. But you just got to put the work in.
Yeah,
Like it would be some players like when we was growing up that was good enough to play at the next level, but they didn't make it because they didn't get no exposure.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now every game is being streamed.
Yep.
Everything
Every
is being posted on Instagram. Everything is reels. You got all of this stuff. So now the colleges don't even got to go to the games no more. They can just pull up huddle. They can just pull up, look on Instagram. Like man, they got it made. Like it changed the game. So for me, it changed the game
yeah,
like big time.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, man. Well, the Maba Academy, how'd you get that started? I see you got some hoopers on there, man. Like, was that?
Oh yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, I started that up. I had started when I once I retired. I jumped back into coaching and training.
yeah,
And then I ended up start getting a lot of kids in training. So it was like, they like, dang, Coach Mo, it was like, man, you might as well start an AAU team up.
yeah.
I was like, man, I ain't about to start no AAU. I don't know how to do, I ain't, I don't know how to do all of that. Like, and then it kind of stuck with me though, like, dang, that night I was thinking about it, like, dang, I probably can probably start an AAU program
Yeah.
up out here because on my side of town, it's really not probably like it's probably one other one. We got
Uh,
a big side of town, like, so I end up jumping into that. I ended up starting off with two teams with that. We went from two. The next year, I think we had four, and now we got 10.
Dang, you got 10 teams, man. That's righteous, bro. Congratulations, bro. That's
Appreciate it. Yeah, we got 10, and we just got I just got the Puma deal too. I just got a
that's
Puma.
lit.
Yeah, just got a Puma deal, so we're gonna be playing on the Puma circuit this next season. Yeah,
Dang,
they plugged
righteous.
me from the TVT, one of the reps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's dope. That's dope.
yeah.
That's dope. That's
So
fire,
that's been
bro.
going good, man. Just staying locked in with that, giving
Yeah,
back to the shorties. Stuff we learned coming up.
absolutely. Absolutely. All right, well, people who are viewing this, that are watching this, man, if you are in the Orlando, Florida area, reach out to my man, Maurice Acker. He's got the Maba Academy going on. He is a
Appreciate you.
legit player, man. He's one of the favorite, I say favorite players, and I didn't even get to really play with you like that, but he is nice with it. If you guys need some extra work in Orlando, Florida, be sure to hit my man Mo up. Where can they find you, Mo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where can
What'd
they
you say,
find you?
Kyle?
So where can they find you?
Mamba Academy, Instagram
All right.
or Mo Acker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Man, well, I appreciate
Appreciate
you
you.
taking the time. All good, man. I appreciate you taking the time coming on in here to chop it up with me, share your story, man. Blessings to the Maba Academy, to you and your family and everything you got going on.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. I
Yeah,
appreciate
already.
you. We got to collab on some stuff, man.
Man, hit me. Let me know, man. I got my stuff
I
starting
got
to
I
drop.
got a vision.
Okay.
I got a vision. I got a vision with what you're doing, man. So
All right, bro.
so
Let me know,
we gonna
man.
definitely jump on the call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. I
for sure.
appreciate that, bro. All right. Blessings, bro.
Yep.
I'll tap in with you.
All right,
We
blessings.
definitely got a link soon, bro.
Yep, love, bro.
All right.
Yep.